Hello everyone, I am International Grandmaster, and in this video I'm going to talk about Pirc's defense. I will show you how to play with white against Pirc's defense, and also this system is possible to play against the modern defense. Okay, e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, and g6. This is a Pirc's defense, and also this system, which I will show you, possible to play against modern defense. So the difference between modern defense and Pirc's defense is that in modern defense the black is not in a rush to develop this knight on f6, but if you want to play this system, there is no it is not important for white. Okay, e4, d6, d4, knight c3, g6, and my recommendation is just to play very simple line and start with knight f3, bishop g7, and bishop e2. So my recommendation is to play classical system. Before I thought that Austrian attack is the most aggressive and the most dangerous, but if you're an amateur player, and I tested it on my students, and finally I realized that I think that it is better just a normal development and not aggressive play for white. Okay, but now very important what to do against, of course, in this position. Of course, if you play this, this is not the final position, and now the theory is starting. And you have to know a lot of plans how to and how to deal with this. Okay, in this position, black has three main options, three main options, and bishop to g4, knight to c6, and c6 with the intention to play queen c7 and then e5. This is a main plans. Also there is, of course, the plan with a6, and also there is a plan with c5. Usually c5 transpose into old Benoni. Okay, I will show you this in the next videos. Okay, knight to c6, and now very interesting option is, and now you have to, the idea of knight c6 is to prepare e5 break. Now very important for white to play d5 in this position, knight b8 in the strongest continuation. Knight e5 is a terrible decision because after take the pawn structure is terrible, and also this bishop is restricted with this pawn e5. Okay, and knight b8 in the strongest continuation. This is an important moment, and now you have to remember very important move h3, with the idea to stop, to prevent bishop to g4. Black's plan in such type of position is just to play bishop to g4, then c6, and to develop. Very important to find a good square for this bishop. For this reason, h3 is a good move. And now the main problem for black here is what to do with this bishop. And for instance, in case of c6, very good move, white has a4. And now what to do? How to develop this bishop? For instance, b6 is very unpleasant, a5 sometimes. Bishop to b7, now I think a6, and what to do? Or maybe d takes c6, okay, something like this. Okay. c6 is not dangerous. Now a4 you have to remember, or maybe knight d4 is also very strong move, because now how to develop this bishop, the pawn is weak. After this we have white has a typical positional advantage due to the better pawn structure. This is a weakness on a7, is typical. So e5 is the strongest continuation, d takes e6, bishop takes e6, and now bishop to g5. yeah, the second very important option. Yeah, okay, sorry. Now, of course, very important to take on e6. The problem that if, okay, of course, e5 pawn again block this bishop, but the problem that the position is very similar to King's Indian defense, classical system, but the difference that the pawn is on c2, and this it favors black side, because the main plan in such type of position in King's Indian, when the pawn is on c4, the main plan is c5. Now this plan doesn't work, and for this reason you have to take with yeah, and for this reason and black has this plan with f5 like in King's Indian. Okay, and for this reason it is better for white to avoid this position and to take on e6. Now I agree that the bishop is okay, but white is slightly better, and the position is quite unpleasant for black due to this pawn in the center. No, of course, e5 is a mistake. We have to. And now very important, bishop g5. The problem that why not to play bishop e3, the most logical continuation. Yeah, but the problem that in case of bishop e3, queen to d2, d5 works very well, and the position is equal. And after bishop to g5, the knight is pinned, d5 is impossible, for this reason h6, bishop to e3, knight c6, and now queen c1. Okay, again, queen d2 was the main move for many years in this position, but recently it was played d5 by a very strong player, Christian Bauer, and unfortunately for white, this is a very good sacrifice, and the endgame is very nice for black, because the pawn structure is terrible and black has enough compensation for the pawn. So for this reason queen c1, and in case of d5 rook to d1 works very well, and now the position is unpleasant, and in case of this we can play rook to d1, there is no d5 and white is slightly better. Okay, very important moment. The second position, also very important for white, is the position after c6. And here you have to remember typical moves. h3 again. But now the idea of this h3 is not to stop bishop g4. The idea is to prepare bishop e3. So what to do? Queen c7, and now the second very important move, a4. Not bishop e3, a4, because sometimes this is a b5 is unpleasant. Okay, it's better to stop. Also a5 is a good option for white. But now e5, and now very important idea, d takes e5, d takes, and bishop, or maybe bishop c4 immediately. So this is a very comfortable and very unpleasant position for black, because there is no bishop e6. Also you can start with bishop e3, because bishop e6 doesn't work due to the knight to g5. Okay, and bishop c4, and this type of position is very unpleasant for black. And for instance, queen to d2, b6, rook to d1, bishop to b7. Now the next move is queen to d6, and so white's bishops, and due to the terrible, very passive bishops, black is in trouble here. Okay, now a few words about okay, next video I will show you how to deal with the main line bishop to g4, and also I will show you how to deal with a6 move. Okay, if you want to I want to say that if you need help, you can contact me, or if you have some questions, send me message, and I will help you. So because I'm available for chess lessons, I have a lot of, not a lot of, but I have some students from English speaking countries. Maybe my English is not so fine, is not fantastic, but it's enough to help you to improve your rating, and especially if you are not, especially if you are quite advanced player. So if you are not beginner, I will help you. Okay, contact me, ask questions, and I will be very happy.